Hello and welcome to the Con Couple. I'm Richard,
I'm Caroline.
and we go to a frankly baffling number of cons every year.
Lighter now, though.
Yeah, a little. You say that as if we didn't drive 6 hours each way to go to a con last week.
We didn't do that this week.
No, we're just driving 3 hours each way to go grocery shopping.
I like Wegmans.
Yeah,
This podcast is not sponsored.
no, it is not. But yeah, since we were up in the Cleveland area, we decided to add an extra hour to the journey and go to Wegmans as well.
So that's one. This will probably be a shorter episode, and the next few episodes will likely be shorter episodes as the semester starts, and we're staying a bit more local for a bit.
Yep.
And we're exploring more local flora and fauna, in this case, in the quite literal sense.
Yeah. Well played, well played. So yeah, where were we this week?
Skunkfest!
Skunkfest!
This has nothing to do with marijuana, which is legal in the state of Ohio, but we did not smoke today, and we don't.
No.
We don't judge.
No. To give you an indication of like my level of extreme uncool, when I was working one of my previous jobs, it was in a shop which had a student flat above it. One day my boss was just like sniffing the air and he just said, "Richard, does it smell like weed to you?" And I said, "Well, it smells weird, but I don't actually know what weed smells like." And he just looked at me and went, "Oh yeah, I forgot you're that sheltered." At which point he threw me a can of air freshener and basically said, give the entire shop a darn good spraying. So this is not about weed. This is about skunks, the animal.
Yes. The live animal, because I will say there's an annoying number of animal festivals that's apparently about butchering animals. We don't go to those.
No, that's too sad and depressing. So yeah, this is Skunkfest, which is held in Cleveland, and is a celebration of skunks.
Yes. It was originally held in hotels, or at least it was the first year I found it, which it was, I think I found it like the day or week after it happened, so we couldn't go that year.
I think we had a conflict, didn't we?
I don't remember. I think Mystics and Marvels was that weekend that year.
I think it was, yeah.
So we didn't go that year. It wasn't a hotel that year, but since then it's this year and the year before moved to a park. We did find a sign today that indicated that it's been around since 2007, so that's super cool.
That's awesome.
Probably longer than that, I would suspect.
Yeah, so. I love the fact this event's been going that long. But yeah, this is a relatively small, relatively simple little festival. So again, this is definitely going to be a shorter episode. We might actually be like normal podcast length for this one.
Mm-hmm.
But the basic principle of this is it is a festival that celebrates skunks. Pet skunks primarily, because you can get pet skunks as pets. Don't just grab a wild one. That's a bad idea. They will spray you. So yeah, you go to this event, you get to see a lot of skunks. It's really fun. You see some other animals as well, because it's called a festival. It's basically a sort of outdoor markety kind of thing.
Yeah, and it has some stuff for booths set up. And there's also other animals there, just because I think it's celebrating like animal rescue generally. So there were ferrets, some parrots, a few dogs.
Yep.
And a bunch of skunks.
A whole lot of skunks. All of which are adorable. Yes. They're all good skunks, right? But yeah.
So Skunk Haven, who hosts the event, is a skunk rescue, who I presumably rescue skunks. I will say this has clearly been around for a while. If you look at any of their files and stuff like that, it's very like early internet coded generally, so there's not a lot of information I can find beyond even figuring out where it is. They don't advertise a lot, so
yeah,
it's very local.
Yeah, I still don't know how you even found it that first year.
I don't know how I found it either. They do have a Facebook page. I think that was briefly how I found it, and they have a flyer. Now that I know where they are, I can look on their page, but there's very little information about it generally.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's by Skunk Haven Skunk Rescue, who hosts there, and they have about a dozen or so skunks.
Yep.
And we did learn a lot about skunks. We went there last year and this year. So we did learn about 5 or 6 different varieties of skunk in terms of color variation.
Yep, so there's the classic one that you're definitely thinking of right now. Then there's lavender skunks.
Kind of purplish.
I found out today there are champagne skunks.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we're an offshoot of lavender? There's an apricot skunk that might be related to the champagne skunk also. Yep. There's a brown skunk that's a little bit lighter.
And then there's white skunks and albino skunks. And those are slightly different. You can tell by the eyes. Albino skunks have red eyes, like most albinos.
And at Skunkfest, you can see pretty much all of them.
Yeah, it's great. Again, like there are a lot of people coming to this event just to bring their skunks.
Mm-hmm.
And give them a chance to like see others and hang out and talk about how awesome skunks are. It's among the most like low grade but wholesome events we go to.
Yes.
Like it's great.
So this is a free event. You just basically walk up to it.
Yep, you have to sign a waiver. The waiver basically says if you do something stupid and one of the skunks scratches and or bites you, it's not our fault.
Yep.
Which again, fine. Generally speaking, you're not in any kind of danger of this event. They're just doing that to err on the side of caution, and I can respect that choice.
The charity can pay money for you to pet a skunk. Sometimes skunk owners will also let you pet their skunks, but don't obviously pet a skunk without the owner's consent.
Yeah. Again, we're operating on dog rules on this one. Like, ask the owner; they'll know if their skunk is okay with being petted by a random person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't assume anything, but the only thing you're allowed to assume is that the skunks will be cute. Because the skunks were, in fact, cute.
They are very cute. And they have like little strollers for them and stuff like that because all the owners bring them with stuff. Why do you always yawn so much and record this podcast?
I don't know. But yeah. So, specifically, there is a cost for entry if you want to enter your skunk into one of the competitions.
Mm-hmm. So they have several skunk-based competitions. We didn't see any today. We saw a few of them last year. So one is a skunk agility obstacle course.
That's pretty much what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's similar to the dog obstacle course, although smaller and like with different skunk-based obstacles. I assume because they are skunks, they probably are like. You mostly just kind of put them in and hope for the best. I don't think any of them are like trained.
Yeah, I suspect so, but who knows? Maybe one of them's like super competitive.
Yeah. And then they have effectively a skunk beauty pageant where they crown a skunk king and queen. Those are for skunks that are over 2 years old, and a skunk prince and princess for skunks that are under 2 years old.
Yeah.
And basically how that works is that there's a box, they put the skunks in, the owner puts them down, they examine the skunk. I don't know what they're looking for. I'm not a skunk expert. Yep. And then they crown them, and they have like a little crown and saber and things like that that they get to wear, which is very cute.
Saber, not saber.
Whatever.
Look, if we're crowning royalty, I'm going to take it seriously, okay? Yeah. It's great. Your birthday card finally turned up yesterday.
Yeah.
Which, again, for the record, not the fault of the people who sent it. Thank you, Mum and Dad. But it did get posted from the UK, and for whatever reason, just got lost in transit for a while. Mm-hmm. It did mean I had to see Prince Charles's face on a stamp, and that just depressed me. Sorry, King Charles. Oh. You
okay?
Yeah.
I wish our monarchy would die.
So, yeah.
And I will say, like, local festivals these days, speaking of which, you may be kind of a little bit uneasy just because there is kind of a conservatism to a lot of Americana lately that happens at state fairs, particularly, that I feel a bit uncomfortable with in the modern context.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I feel hints of it at Skunkfest, but it's too cute to kind of be cared about a lot. And I think most of the skunk owners probably are.
I mean, again, there was a full-fledged furry there.
There was.
We were trying to figure out if it was like somebody associated with the con, if it was an actual furry.
They did have an
MFF
badge, the Midwest Fur Fest volunteer vest on the back of his skunk costume.
Yeah, I think it was like a small bag that like had MMF 2013 staff something or other. So they're a furry.
Yeah, they're definitely a furry. And I don't know if the event like asked them to come or if they just come, but this event has a lot of children at it. They love the skunk costume, so I'm sure they're having a blast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've also got things like a statue of Pepe Le Pew that you can take photos with.
Yep.
And all of that kind of jazz. So, yeah, it's a very, like, sweet, wholesome little event.
Yeah, they have, in terms of booths, they have a variety of things. There's several different raffles you can enter for, like, money for various animal rescue organizations and a bunch of different animal rescue organization booth. There's a few craft booths, people selling crochet stuff. They're selling it for cheaper than you do get at a lot of cons. That's nice.
That is true. There was also, the usual mix of like businesses kind of trying to sell
for whatever
stuff.
reason, like small like town fairs and stuff like that have a bizarre number of like scams about getting new doors and windows for your house, and you can like enter a giveaway that's clearly a scam to get new doors and windows for your house. There were like 6 of those there.
Yeah, and just booths selling like knives. And by knives, I mean like kitchen knives.
Yeah. There's a decent chunk of pyramid schemes that were clearly happening.
Yeah, but hey, if they're giving money to an animal rescue shelter, I don't really mind that.
No, and again, you can just ignore them.
Yep. roofing companies and the like. Like, yeah, just the usual mix of I'm not sure why you're here, but okay, which you kind of see at all of these events.
Yeah, particularly small town ones.
Yeah.
We also had a few things where you could I think it was like a few like carnival-esque games, like an egg thing or things like that, all of which are very clearly homemade that you can do to also give donations to the skunks.
Yeah.
And there was somebody who was making free skunk balloon animals for the kids, which is cute.
Again, like just a lot of sweet, wholesome energy.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna get out of this idiot's way before he does something stupid.
And you can pretty much bring whatever animal you want in there. Like, a bunch of people brought their dogs from home. Some people brought their kids, which I also classify as animals sometimes.
Wow. I love you, but wow. That was a sentence and a half, honey.
It was funny.
Uh-huh.
And it has a nice little pond beside it so you can like duck watch and stuff like that. And it has 2 food trucks, which you did not try because we didn't feel like waiting in line.
Yeah. To be fair, there wasn't actually a line at the second one, but like I didn't have the mental energy to like wait, and I probably could have found somewhere outside to just kind of sit and eat, but we wanted to get on the road to get our grocery shopping done as well.
Yeah, so this will be a shorter episode this week.
Yeah.
But we did go to a con, so it counts.
It counts. Yeah, Skunkfest. It's not big. It's not particularly fancy, but it's
This episode
cute.
is like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, we need to waffle a bit. Do you want to tell them the thing we did this week?
Oh yeah, we probably should tell them that. That is related to that because I guess we are now exotic pet owners in a technical sense.
Yep. We now have bunnies.
Bunnies. And we probably will go to Midwest Bun Fest in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that's coming up.
It's run by the rescue where we got our bunnies from.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll probably talk a little bit more in detail then, because we've had them since Thursday, so they're still settling in. But for anybody who's listened to this podcast before, where we have a dog, we're keeping them on separate floors of the house.
Yes.
So far, I'm not entirely sure if she's noticed them or not.
Hopefully not. We're trying to make sure that she's very bonded and attached and kind of jealous, so we're trying to keep them, I think, separate and happy.
And again, we intend to introduce them to each other at some point down the line once they're kind of... The whole point is to do this process very slowly so they're comfortable with each other, and if at any point we decide they're not comfortable with each other, we stop trying to force them to be.
So yeah, it's going to be a learning curve. We're kind of excited about it. It's something we wanted to wait to share till they, I think, had them officially and stuff like that. So
yeah. So do we want to talk any more about kind of what we actually did at Skunkfest?
We didn't do much. Mostly just kind of walked around. There's a booth you can go up to pet a skunk. We had a couple conversations. People complimented my skirt. We played with puppies a little bit.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to describe anything in more detail.
Again, that's kind of the main things we did. Again, was this an event worth traveling 2 hours in each direction for?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of was. We didn't even stay that long, but we had fun. It was cute.
Well, it's such a unique thing. It's definitely worth checking out. It's one of the more unique things that happen. And you definitely can stay longer and still be entertained. It's just, we went to a long con last weekend. We stayed a bit longer last year and watched the skunk beauty pageant and stuff like that, which is definitely worth staying for. It's just, school has started. I've had 6 different things due this past week. I just kind of wanted a lighter weekend. We might go to Halloween horror thing in Cincinnati tomorrow. We probably won't, but we might.
We probably won't, just because we've got, we need to go to the pet store and get some more
I
things.
know, but we need to worry about our numbers with the count, the podcast, and the...
Honey.
I love you.
This is episode 28.
Gotta get to 43. In fairness, we did go to 4 things before then. There was that one weekend we did 3 cons. It's fine.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, hopefully you guys don't mind a break from the longer episodes for a little while.
Okay. They're probably not all going to be this short. But again, this was a weekend when we needed, a little bit of a quieter one, a little bit of a, a little bit of a break. And again, Skunkfest is very silly, very fun, very, easy to go to. It's not a big thing, but it's fun and we like it.
And I want to shout out this one guy who it wasn't really talking at us, but he was talking to us about how he viewed a skunk as his service animal for, I'm not going to assume what disability that person had, and how they can't be recognized as a service animal because they're not one of the official animal species, but a lot of people are respecting that anyway, which I think honestly is great.
That's a good thing. Oh, and in case anybody's curious, Yes, if it's a pet skunk, it has had its gland removed,
Yes,
so they can't spray.
they can't spray.
They can still scratch and bite though, and yeah.
Yep.
Fun fact: skunk teeth are scary.
They're big. There were no baby skunks this year, though, or at least if we didn't see any, we weren't there that long, though.
Yeah.
Last year there was a baby. They got a lot of attention.
Yeah,
It fell asleep like 4 times.
it was very, very sweet. Yeah, my baby's probably grown up now. Because
Yep.
again, I didn't. Like, I'm assuming the fact that the Prince and Princess category for the skunk competition is ages 2 and under probably means they're considered fully grown at age 2.
Yeah, or it might just be like a natural break of like when a skunk is with one person versus another. I don't really know a lot about skunk ownership generally.
This is fair.
I did look it up a little bit afterwards because again, it is a exotic pet. And we've had this conversation, I think, while we were there generally. Like, I don't think exotic pets are inherently unethical if it's a pet that can be cared for appropriately in a human's house and they're happy there. And I think that's obviously the case for skunks. Like, it's not going to be the case for like a tiger that the average person has the space to care for a tiger. But I think skunks, if somebody is trained and spends a lot of time and recognizes that it's a commitment, probably can care for skunks well.
Oh yeah, and again, like there were a lot of very like cute skunks, and there were people there.
Yeah.
And it is worth noting that one thing that they would. So it's interesting. We clearly timed our arrival pretty much perfectly because we got in when there was like one person in the queue in front of us.
Yep.
When we left, there was like a queue of about 10, 15 people.
And keep in mind, it is free if you're a person. If you're a skunk, it typically costs $5. But
$10.
per skunk, I think there's like 5 if you're bringing 2. The second one's 5. I don't really know.
Yeah, I think if you're bringing multiple skunks, you do start to get like discounted prices. But yeah, if you're a person, it's free. It just takes a second to sign the waiver, basically. Though we went out, did a walk around the lake, went back in, and all we basically did was gesticulate and say, "Yep, we've already signed the waiver."
I don't even think they noticed, but
I
no
don't
one's
think
gonna
they
mind.
did, but
Last year they gave us stamps when we entered instead of signing the waiver. When
Yep.
we signed the waiver. This time they did. They had stamps there. I saw them. I think they might just not have been working, or they decided not to bother with it for whatever reason.
yeah, who knows? It might have been they were supposed to and they just forgot. Again, it was fine. We signed all the relevant paperwork.
And you can't complain about an event that's free. So
Again, I still want to know the story of why they're not in a hotel anymore.
yeah,
Like, my guess is it's probably just it was too expensive.
it was
to
likely too
justify.
expensive, and maybe people weren't traveling this far for it. And it is probably hard to bring your skunk to a hotel. So, and some people might have been like, because the skunks are very like well behaved and stuff like that. But some people might not have felt comfortable with like bringing their skunk inside a hotel quite yet, just in case it is distracting or something like that.
Yeah.
Because then all the skunk owners we see there are like fantastic owners who
Oh, no.
care about the skunks, care about people, and they love people coming up and just talking to them about their skunks and stuff like that. So they put them all in little strollers or backpacks, and it's absolutely adorable.
Yes. Like, again, skunk in a stroller is great. Skunk in a backpack is also great. Like, yeah, it's a very, very wholesome event.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything more to say?
I think that's about all for Skunkfest. It's a cute event. It's definitely, I think, worth the drive and the trip just to kind of go up. You can definitely spend, if you have a family, the whole day there. There's also a park and a playground. You can just kind of come in and out, make a day of it, eat, have some fun.
Yeah.
Watch the skunks run the obstacle course.
Yep. Whereas, again, we had a couple of other bits and bobs to do today. We want to get home to our, our new buns.
Yeah. We want to make sure that they feel welcome in the house. This might be the first day that we let them out of their pen, so.
Yeah. Because again, we only got them on Thursday night, so they're still acclimatizing, but that's okay.
Mm.
And again, we want them to feel safe.
We do.
Yeah. So that was Skunkfest. This is a weirdly short episode.
That's okay. They don't all have to be long episodes.
Are you sure?
Maybe if we have a variability in episode length between 15 minutes and I think our longest is close to 4 hours, it's kind of impressive in its own way.
Yeah, the Origins one, so the YouTube version of the Origins one, incidentally, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
Ooh.
Thank you. Yeah, the YouTube version of the Origins one, which I splinched back into one long video rather than 3 separate parts. I think it's about 3.5 hours long. I think that's the longest. Oh no, it might actually be 4 hours long. It's long. But yeah. So yeah. Again, variety. It's fine. So yeah, that was Skunkfest.
Yep.
Would we go back?
Yeah, I would go back.
I would
it's
go
free.
back.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a drive,
Yeah.
but
If there's something else on the weekend, I might do something else over it. But it's definitely fun and cute, and it's definitely worth a trip. And it's probably the closest you'll probably be if you don't want to own a skunk to various skunks in your life. So, and you can see how many different color varieties there are because there actually are quite a few. So,
again, if you're anywhere near Cleveland, like I might try and get this episode up on Saturday night. So it's still going to be going on Sunday.
Is it?
Is it?
I thought it was just one day.
I thought it was a 2-day event.
No, it's definitely just one day.
Is it just one day?
Yeah.
Okay, forget that then. I thought we were vaguely contemplating going tomorrow if we couldn't go today.
No,
that's
that was
week's thing.
That's next week's thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's sadly only one day, but you should definitely check it out next year if you happen to be in Cleveland. It's not a well advertised event. It's small, it's maybe like 100 people in a park, but it's fun. And it's definitely worth it. And you can see a lot of cute skunks. And interact with them and watch them do very cute skunk things.
Yep. And you can also pet them if you pay the charity some money.
So unless you want to do some weird ranking thing again to continue the episode.
No, I think at this point we should kind of call this episode here. So this was a short one. I feel kind of guilty about that fact, but hopefully people enjoy it. And so next week we're going back up to Cleveland. What's the event called?
I think it's like Cleveland Classic Game Expo or something like that.
Yeah. Which again, we're probably only going to do that as a one day because, well, our bunnies need to go back to the shelter we got them from because they've had one dose of their vaccine and they need the second.
Yes.
So
hopefully we're doing that with some friends though, so we can get their perspectives, and they'll also probably get us to stay there longer because there are certain types of events that I think we just have trouble staying at as long as because there's less stuff that we particularly like to do there, and gaming expos tend to be one of those events just because they don't have a lot of like panel-based content. It's mostly just games, so it's just kind of harder
to keep our interest. More vendor themed. So we'll see how that one is. Also, wow, this road is badly maintained. But yeah, so thank you very much for listening. Sorry it's a shorter episode, but we will hopefully see you all next week. Go to Skunkfest next year. It's great.
It's great.